Morning, Robotai. We were speaking about the laws of Kriyat Torah. Now we'll move on to the laws of learning Torah. As Maran writes in Kufrun Hey, after the prayers are over, the person is obligated to go to Bet Midrash, to go and study, and go to the study hall after he finishes praying. To fulfill the pasuk, it says to go from strength to strength, from mitzvah to mitzvah. So therefore, after prayers, Shulchan Aruch says you're supposed to go and learn. You're supposed to have a study session after you finish the prayers. You're not supposed to go to work right away. As Shulchan Aruch says, even if you're about to lose a lot of money, you're going to lose a deal that's waiting for you, so be it. It's more important that a person studies Torah right after prayers than going to work. And a person should know that this is one of the questions I ask you in Masechet Shabbat. Did you set aside time to learn Torah? Not did you learn Torah when you had ability to, when you had free time. Oh, I learned Torah. I learned Torah when I had time here and I had time there. No, it has to be set aside time to learn Torah every single day. This is important. This is an important part of my life. Every day I go to work. Every day before I go to work, I learn. After I pray, I go to work. If a person cannot learn after he prays, he can learn and then pray. He can learn before he goes to prayers. But there's no such thing, you just go to shul and you pray and you go to work. No, you have to go to shul, you pray, you go to Bet Midrash, you go to study Torah, and then you go then you go to work. As the Torah commands us. The Torah cannot never ever leave our mouth. We cannot say, no, Torah learning is not for me. I don't learn Torah, I just pray. There's no such thing. You have to, the Torah has to be always with us. You have to study it day and night. How much Torah do you have to study? So that's a different discussion. It's a little bit of discussion between Rabbi Shmai and Rabbi Yochai, both Masechet Brachot, Masechet Shabbat. It's a contradiction. Steipler Gaon writes in Masechet Shabbat, and it's Kedushim, he writes that a person's obligation to learn Torah, each person is different. According to the free time you have, that's how much time you have to learn Torah. And the person has to be honest with himself. He has to know how much free time he has. The person who has more free time, he has to learn more Torah. The person who has less free time, he has to learn less Torah. He can learn less Torah, but he has to learn Torah. As the Rambam writes, in the Chotamut Torah, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're healthy, whether you're you have a very difficult life, whether you have a lot of kids, even if you're a very busy man, everyone's obligated to study Torah and set aside a time to learn Torah. Now, the Gemara Masechet Eruvin says that one of the Amoraim, whenever he would miss his study session in the morning, he would look at it as if it was a loan. It's like he took out a loan, he owes that amount of time to learn, and he would make it up in the evening. So therefore, a person who has debts, he's very nervous to pay his debts. That's how a person has to make sure that even if you miss in the morning and you weren't able to make it that day for whatever reason, some emergency happened, you have to leave, you have to make up your learning that you missed in the morning. You have to make it up in the evening. A lot of people, they part of Gemara class, they part of a system, a class where they learn halachot, they learn Gemara every day. If you miss pages, you have to catch up. You have to get back on the schedule. Same thing over here. If you missed, you have to make it up in the evening. As the Chaim Kanievsky Alav Shalom used to tell people, I'm leaving. He left the event early. So why are you leaving the event? Where do you have to go? He says, I have debts. I have bills. He says, debts, bills. Come, we'll pay for you. Who do we have to pay? He said, no, to Hashem. I owe Hashem. I have to finish my quota every single day. I have to learn. I have a certain amount of time I have to learn. I have a certain amount of material I have to finish. So therefore, a person has to feel this way to the Torah. He owes it to the Torah. He shouldn't embarrass the Torah. The Torah is not studied. Chas v'shalom. So therefore, the Rameh Pano says that preferably it should be the same amount of time, the same time every day. A person should go to a minyan that allows him to learn, and he should allows him, whatever time he has to be at work, he has to pray early with enough time to learn, and then go to work. That way, he can learn every day the same time. If you don't pray early enough, you're going to try to squeeze learning here and there. It might not be the same time every day. So if a person has to pray and try to pray minyan, where he'll have a slot of time available to learn every day. People who pray in the 7:30 minyan in this room right now, there's a class after the 7:30 minyan in the side room with the breakfast. Every person who prays here, you should be praying here because you have time to learn also after. If you have to run straight to work after this minyan, so then this minyan is too late for you. You have to go pray in a minyan where you have more time after the minyan to learn. So therefore, if you're already praying in a minyan, then you have to run away from work. It's too late already. Why are you praying so late? Pray earlier, so that way you have time to learn before you go to work. There's no such thing a man goes to work after prayers. You have to pray, then you have to learn, and then you go to work. Baruch Na'onam. Amen.